Hello, and welcome to the Fellows Cafe. Well, I'm sitting here in the back of my truck, in the bunk of my truck, waiting to be unloaded. And I was reading a book here, a book I carry with me, always have a book with me. This one is called The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley. Now, a couple days ago, I did a little piece while driving the truck on Zen. It was unscripted, just a little bit I did. And I have a quote here that exemplifies or embodies what I was trying to get across. So, and I was just writing it down or in my quote file as something of value. Here it is, from Aldous Huxley's Doors of Perception. It goes, "Most men and women lead lives at the worst so painful, at the best so monotonous, poor and limited, that the urge to escape, the longing to transcend themselves, if only for a few moments, is and always has been one of the principal appetites of the soul." Isn't that true? Of course, way better than I could ever put it. He goes on to say, "Art and religion, carnivals and saturnalia, dancing and listening to oratory, as well as Zen," he didn't say that, but I'm adding that, "all of these have served, in H.G. Wells's phrase, as doors in the wall." Thought it would be a beautiful introduction to the piece that I did a couple days ago. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the road. Half of what I try and get across is about the road outside the truck as well. Anyway, thanks. Welcome to the Fellows Cafe. I'll call this episode Road Zen number 2. The second of my videos I make in the truck here, moving along. I thought I'd do a video, having called these Road Zens, I thought I'd do a video on Zen. What exactly is Zen? Now, there's 1,000 books you could read, 10,000 books you could read on Zen. But one of the things about reading all the books on Zen is they just often hash and rehash the words and teachings of the master. It's kind of circular. It just goes around and around and around. And I want to do a video on Zen. Now, I don't know how well the camera's picking up the outside scenery. This is a gorgeous peachland road. I'm just leaving about 1,000 miles, 1,600 kilometers of prairie behind me, and we're moving into the Rocky Mountains. I didn't drive all those miles. I only live about 60 or 80 kilometers behind me here, so I'm just setting out on my day. I'll go through these Rockies and through the interior of British Columbia mountains and end up in Vancouver later on today, towards evening anyways. But I wanted to do one on Zen, and what exactly is Zen? As I said, you could read 10,000 books on it. You can attend Zen temples. I've attended at least one in Calgary. And what exactly is Zen? Is there a way of getting past all the teachings, all the cogitations, all the thinking that has gone on around Zen, all the explanations? Someone can sit at home and read all these books, and usually what happens is you're reading all these books and trying to figure it out in your mind, and that's exactly the opposite of what Zen is. Zen is an unthinking participation in the moment. That's all that Zen is. Now, what's the best way of giving an example of it? Well, let's talk about this truck here. I'm driving, moving into the beautiful Rocky Mountains here, but I often talk about being one with the truck and one with the road. It's an unthinking participation, an unthinking action with the truck and the road. And that, in a nutshell, is Zen. I am not having to think, I'm not having to wonder what to do. What gear should I be in as I approach this corner? What's the corner like? I've done this corner many, many, many times. I've done the highway many, many, many times. And with that experience, I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. And that, in an essence, is Zen on a small scale. Now, I say on a small scale because there's other ways of Zen. I'll give you an example. Think in your own life. Think, do you play a musical instrument? Do you dance? do you just like to dance? Or maybe even making love is another example. What activities do you do where you can do them in a total and full immersion in them without thought? And that is the aim. I mean, whether you're playing a musical instrument, whether even I'm talking into the video, when I can do it without having to think about what I am doing, that's a Zen moment. So for instance, if I'm playing a sport, say hockey, we're up in a northern climate, I'm up in Canada here, hockey's our national game, supposedly. But if I'm out on the ice and I have to think about what I'm doing, oh, what's that? And maybe there's somebody watching in the crowd, and what should I do now? And am I doing the right thing? You are not participating in that game in a Zen fashion. When you can be fully and completely and totally immersed in the moment, when it's an unthinking but very mindful, now paradoxically it's unthinking but mindful, a whole body mind participation in the moment, that is Zen. Zen on a small scale. Now why do I keep saying Zen on a small scale? Well, the Zen that the masters are talking about, the Zen that all the Japanese masters, Chinese masters are talking and writing about, that's a Zen that's expanded, not just this trucking Zen, but is expanded into all relationships with the world, with the group, the community you live in, let me get a shift done here, and with the world and the environment that community lives in. When you can participate in all acts of life, all your relationships, whether with your parents, whether with your friends, whether with your loved ones, whether with your children, whether with your fellow people in the community that you don't know or have an acquaintanceship with, that's a Zen participation in all life. And that's actually what the masters are talking about. So this has just been a little video on Zen. Hope you've enjoyed the outside. Again, I don't know how well you pick it up. You tend to pick it up better when there isn't sunshine out there, because the range of light from the interior to the exterior becomes too much. But anyway, we're passing by Lac des Arcs here. Beautiful entry porthole into the Rocky Mountains of Canada on Highway 1, the Trans-Canada Highway. We're moving toward the town of Canmore, not far from Canmore now, about 20 kilometers, I'd guess. And then Banff, if you've ever heard of Banff. And from here on out, all the way to Vancouver, it's going to be mountains, rock, river, forest, and small town. Which is why I love this ride, which is why, for me, this driving the mountain roads is Zen moments, just one after another, one continuous Zen experience. I love the scenery out there. I love this drive. Anyway, that's a little bit about Zen. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching the Omphalos Cafe. I hope that touches you somewhere. That's the aim in our life. Total and complete participation in the world about... Oh, I have one more thing I wanted to say. Learning Zen, participating fully in the world with a Zen approach to it. That is going to put you a little bit apart from the community. Because we live in groups, we live in communities. that inner balance inside, and yet know that the rest of the group is struggling with that. So I just want to leave that one with you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon at the Oak Fallows Cafe. Bye now.